Exactly 1 year ago, on this day, the Russia's President Vladimir Putin has launched the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Till now, free people of Ukraine are defending their freedom and democracy. The military success of Ukraine has become the mounting evidence that Russian invasion has come out of steam. Ukraine has emerged as the hope for countries like Belarus, Moldova, and Georgia as the new hope. 1 year ago, we everybody had the sirens. How do you recall this day? What was those sirens indicating?
I was actually here in Berlin, but I was very tense because we had those presuppositions that this war is going to come. And at 7 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and started to read all of those tweets from my friends and my family that they hear explosions. And I immediately called my mother and started to cry. But my mother was very brave, and she told me that, you know what, no matter what, I'm just going to work and I'm preparing myself to go to work. So yeah.
For me, it was, to be honest, it was not such a big surprise because I was pretty sure that would happen what happened. I was surprised by the brutality that whole Ukraine was attacked, and that it was very obvious that it's never been about liberation or any bullshit like this, but about full war on Ukraine. That was the terrible thing.
So I didn't hear the sirens. So for me, the day started with messages in the chat, and for me, it started like with the phone that so overloaded that it cannot fully load the chats. And I spent just maybe first hour just reading the news, and my hands were shaking, and it was horrible. But then I already knew that there is a demonstration being prepared on the Brandenburger Gate, and I went immediately there. And then after that, I don't have any memories.
Like it was 5 in the morning, I was checking the news and I saw like the Putin started the full-scale invasion. I didn't believe that. I came to my mother, also said like, Mom, this war already started. She said she was laughing on it first. But then when we realized what is happening, we were united, all of us, me, my mother, my sister, in one flat. But we were thinking that it will last like for a week or so, because Mariupol was already on the front zone. So we are kind of used to it. But it was never like this, and it's already 1 year of the war.
After one hard year, how do you feel as an Ukrainian?
As what?
As an Ukrainian.
I feel that I need to represent my country here as much as I can, in the best face as much as I can, and is it possible? It still hurts. I feel that I can't continue doing my stuff like art and everything because the war is still going.
It still hurts because we lost so many beautiful and incredible people, because like from the Russian side, it's a soldiers who live like in a small town, in a small village. So, and in the from Ukrainian side is the most bravest, most brilliant people in our country, because they were the first who stand against the enemy who was protected Ukraine, and of course a lot of this person died, and it's like huge loss for all country, for all nations.
Слава ЗСУ! 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 ЗСУ!
I'm very, very happy that right now I feel more Ukrainian than I have ever felt, and I feel not only proud, but I feel proud that I can be one and that I can represent Ukrainians all around the world and in Ukraine, here in Germany.
No family, no person in Ukraine is safe. My family is living in the western part of Ukraine. Still, something can happen and they're not safe. And this is like this feeling of fear, the feeling of that someone wants to completely eradicate your identity, to destroy your history, to destroy your culture. It's just pain.
I will feel something after the victory day. The next day probably I will sleep a lot and cry. But right now we are standing together because we need to be strong for those people who are fighting for our democracy in Ukraine.
How do you see the future of your country? What does winning look like for you?
Winning looks like for me that having the borders that were already at the free Ukraine, at the independent Ukraine. So with all of the eastern regions of Ukraine, with Crimea back, so freeing also these occupied territories and being free from Russian imperialism.
I hope and expect this support will continue and increase so that Ukraine can win back its independence and freedom and the territories it has lost. Of course, the loss of life is irreplaceable. This cannot be won back, unfortunately.
Winning looks like the entire internationally recognized territory of Ukraine being completely free of Russian occupation, including Crimea, including Donbass. And I do believe that we can build a democratic, a prosperous country that will be a good neighbor to Europe and eventually part of the European family.
Thank you very much.